Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Euroball Talk. Today is the 8th of February, Wednesday, and it's a wonderful, partly sunny afternoon in Amsterdam. Let's say, business has been dying down these days a little bit, a bit more chilled out and relaxed, doing all the player workouts and everything. So I wanted to record this session while I have the time. Been watching a ton of game film as always, and wanted to also chime in on some thoughts. So here goes for a new episode. For those of you that haven't already, make sure to subscribe, comment, and like on the YouTube channel. I hope you've been liking the scouting videos so far, and there's going to be a ton of new stuff coming in I'm going to hint out to a little later on. Wanted to start out with specifically a few notes I had with regards to player signings. Specifically to go forward with. First of all, were Euro Cup teams amazingly going good throughout the season, and Zvezda recently signed Mert Akay from Turkey. He actually was playing in Serbia, but now has switched over to play for Zvezda. So great signing for sure. Definitely a guy to keep an eye out on, even though I won't be able to cover him with regards to his gameplay. Very solid kid that comes out of Turkey for sure. Another player that actually begun the season elsewhere in Israel at Hapoel Eilat, Emanuel Lecomte, Belgian guard, played for about 10 games in the Israeli league, averaged about 13.7 points a game, and then had 5.9 assists to go alongside that. He just recently switched over teams. So yeah, I just wanted to definitely point those two out. Definitely very, very solid players, solid guys that can definitely get the job done. On a very, very other note, as you guys most probably have heard, there's been this earthquake that actually happened in Turkey, and I wanted to also chime in on that very briefly here on Euroball Talk, since it's actually affected both the Euroleague and the Euro Cup pretty extensively. Games have been suspended on both, let's say, leagues that are going to be played out in Turkey. So there won't be any games for round, I think about 11 or 12 for the Euro Cup, and then with round 24, the home games that are going to be played out, that were going to be played out by Anadolu, Efes, and Fenerbahce, they won't, let's say, happen for the moment, so they're going to be suspended for sure. But with that said, I also wanted to touch up on a few things. So recently, I've actually been looking into, I did a little while back, I did this Kaunas 2023 Final Four prediction. I'm definitely going to elaborate on that a bit more, and then for those of you that are actually following me, you can find more detail on that when I publish it on talkbasket.net. For sure, I'm definitely going to get into that. Another point that I'm busy honing in on, and as I just mentioned, so I'm busy compiling stuff from my video archive, and it has to do more with former EuroLeague players, so legendary players that have actually played in the EuroLeague from around about the beginning of the 2000s till about now, the kind of players that have actually played, and those that have had, let's say, amazing gameplay and style and skill and so on. So I'm going to be compiling stuff about that, and you'll be able to find more extensive video on Ubuntu Basketball, so my website. And the reason I'm going to be pretty much keeping that there is the fact that I want people to be able to really kind of get more of a feel for how I've actually changed the site. I've made it much more, let's say, news related, yet also more video adaptable as well. So there are going to be some changes that are happening there on that end. So hope you guys enjoyed. on the website as well. And yeah, last but not least, so I did a little bit of maths and dug into 3 critical games I see for round 24. But what I mean by critical is practically like games that I think are going to be fun to watch. And what I did was I actually did some win probability checks on them. And furthermore, I also kind of like tried to predict the outcomes of these games. So hope you enjoy this part. This is something for the first time I'm going to be trying on the Euroball show. So to start out with, I had a look at the Monaco Asvel game. So my prediction is that there's going to be a 10-point difference in this game, roughly speaking, and I think it might end up between about 86 to 76 in the favor of Monaco. Based on simulation models that I've looked into, so the win probability is about 73% for Monaco in this case. And here are some interesting facts, to be honest. And I mean, I think even though you guys can kind of like find details about this online through various sources, courtesy of 3 Steps Basket, I'm also giving you these details. So possession-wise, Monaco is 8th in the league right now versus Asvel playing as the 14th ranked team in the Euroleague. Points-wise, again, Monaco ranks number 6 with about 83.6 points a game, whereas Asvel basically scoring about 74.7 on average. And yeah, I think the more critical thing to look at over here is the fact that turnover-wise, Monaco is at about 10.4 turnovers a game, whereas Asvel is playing with about 13.6 turnovers a game. So interesting to see this matchup in these circumstances take place. Next game that I dug into and I'm predicting is the Bologna-Barcelona game. Here I think Barcelona is going to win 81-77. I know it's very kind of amazing for me to kind of like give out the direct scores, so let's see how this turns out. And I'm looking at the win probability, and it's about 40% for Barcelona in terms of 100 games simulated between the two teams. When I look at some interesting stats, possession-wise, these two teams actually, they do match up pretty amazingly well. So Bologna plays with about 82 possessions a game, offensively speaking, and then Barcelona play with about 81 possessions a game. But interestingly enough, so Bologna is actually ranked 7th across the league in terms of their offensive possession value, whereas Barcelona is ranked number 12. So that's, with just one possession of the difference, goes to show you in the EuroLeague what kind of depth there really is. And yeah, turnover-wise, actually, this is something critically interestingly I found out. So I mean, Barcelona plays with about 13.1 turnovers, and they're ranked 12th in turnovers overall across the league, whereas Bologna are 17th, and they play with about 14.2 turnovers a game. So I think when you look at things at this kind of a critical ball handling level, and especially with this, let's say, high level of intensity of a league, they will definitely, for sure, have an effect. So hope that insight was interesting for you guys to hear about. And last but not least, so the Panathinaikos Valencia basket game. Here, I think Valencia is going to win 83-81, just a 3-point difference. But the calculations that actually showed me across 100 games when I looked into the win probability were that Valencia actually has a win probability of about 57%, whereas Panathinaikos has about 37% chance to actually win the game. So this might actually be the swing game for round 21 among the 3 games that I've actually analyzed. So This game's outcome might potentially change for Panathinaikos. And yeah, last but not least, for sure, when I dig into the stats over here, you're looking at number 3 in terms of possessional value, 83.6%. 83.6 possessions offensively speaking with Valencia, and Panathinaikos play with 83.1 possessions offensively speaking, and they're the 4th. So this is interesting to keep an eye on. And on the other end of things, so with regards to looking at the turnovers, Valencia actually plays with about 13.4 turnovers, and they're ranked the 14th across the league, whereas Panathinaikos only turned the ball over 11.7% on average across all the games that they played, and they rank roughly about the 7th. So yeah, this was yet another episode of Euroball Talk. Hope you enjoyed it. Wanted to make it a little bit more different than what it normally was. And for those of you that have followed till the very end of the episode, thank you so much for looking in. And for anybody that has interest in what I do, you can visit the YouTube channel, look at Ubuntu Basketball as a website. And for anybody that wants to basically get in touch with me, feel free to do so. Always happy to help out and provide support wherever I potentially can. And thank you so much again. This was Armani and thanking you a lot.